Hello friends, my name is Abhay Kumar and today I am going to talk about the issue of Sharia, the issue of Muslim personal law and several controversies related to it. Friends, you know it very well that recently Delhi High Court has asked center to go for uniform civil code. After that observation, a large number of people, particularly those who belong to Hindu right organizations, they started attacking minorities and they spread lies and propaganda that Muslim society in India, they are being governed by Sharia law, they are following Sharia law, and non-Muslims, particularly Hindus, they follow constitutions, they follow secular law, while the Muslims follow religious law. So there are some confusion about what is personal law, what is religious law, what is secular law, what is uniform civil code, what is family law, are Muslims only governed by family laws, what about Hindus, what about Sikhs, what about Christians, what about other religious community. So I have thought that I should speak for a while about these categories, this confusion. It will help us in understand the situations better. I have also done my PhD on the same topic. I have worked on the cultural history of All India Muslim Personal Law Board from 1973 to 2010 at Center for Historical Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University. The thesis was submitted in 2018. So I am going to take some materials from my thesis and I will try to present my facts in such a way that it should appear contemporary, it should appear relevant. So let me start with definitions and sources. First of all, the confusing word is personal in personal law board. Personal is also in Hindi is also written like personal law, Muslim personal law, Muslim personal law, Muslim personal law board. So what is the meaning of personal? So personal in very popular sense, it means individual, but here if you think that personal means individual, then you are getting confused. Here personal has no connections with individual or individual rights. The point which I want to emphasize here, that personal laws is not related to the life of a particular person. On the other hand, personal law is in fact a law related to a specific community, a specific ethnic group, a specific tribe, a specific community. So personal is not related to individual, it is related to community, millat, which is called in Urdu millat, or in Hindi we'll call samuday or group. So it is basically personal law is group related law. Okay, it is not individual law. It has nothing to do with that liberal understanding of individualism. No, it is not related to it. In fact, it is related to what should I say a specific community. Partha S. Ghosh, a scholar from Jawaharlal Nehru University, he is in his article Politics of Personal Law in India has made it very clear that there is nothing personal individual about personal law, rather it refers to a specific community law. So it is community law. So personal law is related to particular community, tribe, ethnic group. It is also connected with group. So the first thing, always keep in mind that personal law is all about, what should I say, all about community law, tribe law and ethnic or social group. And now the point is that personal law is also contrasted with territorial law or secular law or uniform law. So what is territorial law, what is secular law, what is uniform law? Territorial laws, secular laws or uniform laws, they are applicable to all citizens. They are applicable to all citizens irrespective of religious and ethnic identities. For example, if I have committed theft, I'll be given same amount of punishment for a person who does not belong to my community or my religion. So that is uniform law, that is universal law. What has happened that after the coming of the Britishers, the establishment of British colonial rule in India, laws in India were reformed, and our life means the life of citizens, the life of people, irrespective of community, caste, and religion, they are in fact governed by secular law, that is uniform law, that is territorial law. That means that we are all governed by the same set of laws. If you want to open a shop, you have to go through the same process, whether you are a Hindu or you are a Muslim or you are a Christian or you are a Sikh. You believe in religion or you don't believe in religion. You want to do a particular kind of business, you have to follow the same law. If you want to contest the election, you have to follow the same law. So in our life, in our 99% of our life, we are governed by secular law, territorial law, or uniform law, and they are applicable to everybody. But personal laws are group specific rights. So the personal laws, if you ask me what is the definition of personal law, first of all you have to keep in mind that it is different from territorial law, it is different from secular laws, it is different from uniform law. Do not think secular and communal in this way, that okay, uniform law is secular and personal law is communal. No, it has nothing to do with secular and communal. When I am saying communal, that means it is related to community, it is related to particular community. So the personal laws is all about marriage, divorce, dowry, parentage, legitimacy, guardianship, religious and charitable endowments, inheritance, successions, and so forth. So if you are a Hindu, how you are going to do your marriage, how you are going to distribute your property among your family members or your children, how you are going to divorce your wife. If you have some religious institutions, let's say mart or some other things, how you are going to manage the property related to that institutions. So these are all related to communities law, these are all related to personal laws. And in our constitutions, in our Indian law, our life, largely 99% of our life is governed by uniform law. It is not governed by communities law, it is not governed by community personal law. Only 1% of our life which are related to what I have said: marriage, shadi, nikah, dowry, divorce, parentage, legitimacy, guardianship, religious and charitable endowments, wills, inheritance, succession, and so forth. Here these are related. There is also one confusion, very big confusion, that okay, Muslims are only having personal law. That is not correct. All communities have personal laws. All communities have personal laws. Hindus have personal laws. Muslims have personal laws. Parsis have personal law. I think tribals have their own group-related laws, their own personal laws. Different ethnic groups have their own personal laws. So sometimes a misconception is created that Muslims community alone has a set of personal law. That misconception is to be rejected. The fact is that the separate personal laws in place for all religious group too, Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs, Jains, they have personal laws. But one thing people do not talk about, that Hindus, Buddhists, Sikhs and Jains, they are 4 different communities, but they are clubbed under the one Hindu code bill, Hindu personal law. So one could ask that the religious belief of Sikh, the religious belief of Jains and the religious beliefs of Buddhists and Hindus, they differ a lot. Buddhists Buddhists follow Buddhism. They are different from Hindus. Jains are also different, but you see that they are all clubbed under Hindu code bill. So different groups like Sikhs, they have demanded that we should have our own personal law, but government has not paid much attention. The media is not writing about it, because somehow the understanding is that Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists, they are part of larger Hindu society, but this is absolutely wrong. This is the communal mindset. That is why they are forcefully They are put under Hindu code bill, and Muslims have their own personal laws, Christians have their own personal law. So there is also, you remember Savarkar, what he has said, that that my conception of Hindutva is not about religion, it is about political Hindutva, it is about Hindu, it is not about Hinduism, it is about Hinduness. So basically he was saying that anybody who is not Muslim, who is not Christian, who is not Parsi, they are Hindus. But Buddhists would not like to call themselves Hindu, Sikh would not like to call themselves a Hindu, Jain would not like to call themselves as a Hindus. And Buddhism and Jainism, they are thousands-year-old religion. They have long history. They had relation of conflict with Brahmanism. But somehow we are being, Hindus and Muslims, they are forcefully being put under the Hindu code bill. That topic is nobody talking about. The impression is being created that Hindus have no personal laws, only Muslims have personal law, and their personal laws are against Indian constitutions. They are being governed by Sharia court. That is absolutely wrong. There is no Sharia court. There is no Sharia court. We must keep in mind that there are some advisory legal remedies provided by some religious institutions of minorities, where two parties, when they are willing to go there, they go and then they bring their matter to them, and in the light of, let's say, their religious belief, some solution is provided by the Qazi, and that ruling of the Qazi is not mandatory, because Qazi does not have police, the Qazi does not have army. Even if one party, even after going there, if that party says that I am not going to follow what Qazi has said, another party cannot hold him. Qazi cannot put him in jail. He can go to civil court, and then the matter will be decided by the civil court, and civil court has a power, because if you do not follow the civil court's verdict, then you will be doing contempt of court and you will be arrested. But that power is not there with Muslim, what should I say, we should not call it Muslim court, we should say some legal remedy, some kind of adjustment is there, where people go and in the light of Quran, in the light of Hadith, they try to provide some solutions, and that solution is to be agreed by both the party willingly. Even if one party says I am not going to abide by that, then Qazi cannot do anything. So it is absolutely wrong to say that Muslims are being governed by Sharia law, they are running a parallel court. How could they run a parallel court when they do not have a police, when they do not have any authority to get their order passed? So, and it is also said that Muslims have their personal law not reformed by Nehru, because Nehru wanted Muslims to keep them as what should I say, as vote bank. That is absolutely wrong. Muslims had their Sharia Act passed in 1937, much before the Hindu Code Bill, which was made in 1956-1955. And even the Hindu Code Bill was opposed by the Hindu right. Dr. Ambedkar tried very hard to get radical Hindu Code Bill passed, but Nehru and Ambedkar was frustrated by the right-wing forces, both within the Congress party and outside of them, and Hindu Mahasabha, and also the BJP's earlier avatar, Jan Sangh. They had lots of agitations against Nehru, and they said that a state has no authority to intervene in the personal life of Hindus community. So this is the reality. Christians Marriage Act was also done. So Christian have also their reformed. Christian has also their what should I say, their personal laws. And then Indian Divorce Act is also there in 1869, and there is also Christian personal laws. The Parsi Zoroastrians have also their Parsi Marriage Act and Divorce 1937. So the point is, what I want to say here, that it is very wrong to believe that only Muslim have personal law. All communities have personal law. Even tribals have personal laws, and our constitution says in guarantees in fundamental rights that people have right to follow, profess, manage their religious institutions as per their religious belief. So religious freedom is part of our constitution, but that issue is not being talked about by Hindutva forces. They only say, they just demonize Muslim to say that okay, they are not following personal laws. So but another point which I want to tell you here, that even if the communities have personal laws, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Parsis, they are also governed by uniform laws. And Tahir Mahmood, the former National Minority Commission chairman, a great scholar, eminent scholar of law, Professor Tahir Hussain Mahmood has said that that under a that no community is however governed entirely or exclusively by its personal law. Under a dual family law regime in force in the country, there are, besides the various community specific personal laws, a number of general legislative enactments in the area of family law and succession which apply to all communities including Muslims. This point is very important. Professor Tahir Mahmood, well known eminent scholar of law and former National Minority Commission's chairman, has said that even if a community has personal laws, they are also governed by secular laws. They are also governed by different acts. They are also governed by different legislatures who were enacted by parliament, who are enacted by the different legislatures. So it is very wrong. It is very wrong to say that Muslims follow Sharia law, Muslims follow their own laws, and they are not following, what should I say, the Indian constitution. That is wrong. So